Hey there, how's it going? I'm walking over to the old city of Jerusalem here, which is only a 5 to 10 minute walk from here. Some cool graffiti here. My hostel is straight back there. And so I'm going to the Dome of the Rock right now because it has limited hours that it's open. It is open for the next hour, and so I got to get there and get inside. You have to bring your passport. It is free to enter. There will probably be a line going in, and then I will be exploring around more of the old city. There is a ridiculous amount of different things to see of incredible historic importance. Right here, you can see the old wall surrounding the old city, and up ahead is Jaffa Gate. And so today, going to explore the old city, get lost in there, go see some incredible places mentioned in the Bible and places of extreme significance to not only this region of the world, but the world in general. Jerusalem is at the center of the three Abrahamic faiths of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. That is why there is also problems here. Of course, the history is extremely complicated. I'm not going to get too deep into it. And so this is the Jaffa Gate, or Jaffa Gate, or Yafo Gate. This is the Tower of David. And so I'm just going to kind of fly through this area for now so that I can get to the Dome of the Rock before it closes, and then explore more of the old city.
Cosmetics company, so it's as exciting as it sounds.
Es que es. والله ابو هند كل المحل على حسابك.
And this is the Western Wall. Welcome to the Western Wall, a remnant of the temple. The foundation stone sits at the peak of Mount Moriah above the Western Wall. According to tradition, the world was created from this stone. The binding of Isaac took place on it, and King Solomon built the first temple around it as a house for the name of the Lord, the God of Israel. The temple stood in all its glory for centuries until it was destroyed by the Babylonians. After 70 years of exile, Jews returned to Jerusalem and built the second temple, which stood on the top of the mountain until it was destroyed by the Romans. The Jewish nation was exiled for a long time, but vowed, "If I forget you, O Jerusalem, may my right hand forget its skill." Throughout all its years in exile, the Jewish people never stopped mourning for Jerusalem and praying for next year in a rebuilt Jerusalem. And so I'm through the security check. Looks like I'm going to get in. Again, there is the Western Wall down there. And so the Dome of the Rock is a Islamic shrine. Not exactly a mosque, I guess. It was constructed originally in 691 AD. It is built on the Temple Mount, which is the Jewish sacred temple, but it is a Muslim shrine, so that is at the center of the conflict here, especially between Judaism and Islam, is they both claim this is a highly sacred site. The Muslims believe that this is where Muhammad ascended to heaven, so pretty significant. Looks like Roman architecture here. This area was also occupied by the Romans. The second temple of the Jews that was situated here was destroyed by the Romans. Okay, and there is the Dome of the Rock. Now that is not the original building that was built in 691 AD, or at least it is not the original dome. It is the original spot, and I think part of the building is the original building, but it has been renovated. The golden dome was added. And so the old city here is divided into 4 different sections: the Muslim quarter, the Armenian quarter, the Jewish quarter, and the Christian quarter. So this is obviously the Muslim quarter, the edge of the Muslim quarter, near Chain Gate. I just came out of the Dome of the Rock down there. The Western Wall is straight over here. And so I'm now going to wander around. It's the same day, different shirt, and just explore the old city, get lost, and show the different sections. I will also visit the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. So I'm now going to walk into the Jewish quarter. So I believe I'm in the Jewish quarter now. And something smells incredibly good. No. Shawarma Bar, Holy Bagel Cafe. The Beit Yaakov Synagogue. In 1700, a large group of immigrants led by Rabbi Yehuda Hasid arrived in Jerusalem. They settled in the Ashkenazi courtyard in the Old City just as a synagogue reconstruction had been completed, sinking the community into debt. In 1720, when they could not repay loans, Arab creditors burned down the synagogue and its courtyard. In 2005, construction and restoration of the synagogue began, and it was gloriously dedicated on the first day of the month of Nisan, 2010. And so the synagogue is actually only 8 years old as far as the current building. Here is a map of the old city. Here is the Western Wall, the Dome of the Rock, and then here is the Jewish quarter. You are here. There is the synagogue. And here we have the Armenian quarter, Christian quarter, Muslim quarter. So I'm going to walk into the Armenian quarter and then kind of make a circle and see more of the old city. There is a heck of a lot to see. The Western Cardo. So here we have Hebrew, Arabic, English. Remains of a magnificent main road from the Roman Byzantine period, serving throughout time until today as a major thoroughfare for shopping. Right here. Armenian Quarter. Or Hayam Street, Ararat Street, Ararat Road, St. James Street. Mount Ararat is where the Ark ended up resting after the Great Flood. Bastorma, Sujuk, Armenian pizza, Korovaz, Armenian kebab, Armenian salad, Greek salad. That's inside here. Fascinating place. I'm not actually going to go inside, but and so I'm now back at the Jaffa Gate. It is one of 7 gates entering into the Old City. From here, you can go into the Armenian quarter here, the Muslim quarter to the right, and the Christian quarter straight ahead. It was built in 1538 by Ottoman Turks. The Ottomans occupied this area as well. And so going out that way is where I originally entered the Old City a few hours ago. And so from here, I will now enter into the Christian quarter. And I think it's time for some juice. And so I have here a orange pomegranate juice. It was 15 shekels, or about $4. Keeping in mind that is the Old City tourist price. Shakshuka, falafel, mosabaha, hummus, shawarma.
How goes
the Muslim call to prayer going there. And so the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is believed to be the site where Jesus was crucified, and also it is believed to house the tomb, the now empty tomb that Jesus was buried in and resurrected from. And so it is a very, very important site for Christianity and Christians. It was built originally in the 4th century AD. It was then destroyed in 1009 AD, and then it was reconstructed in 1048 AD. And so I'm now back in the Muslim quarter, sort of a residential area. A little bit less busy. Just going to wander randomly a bit more and get back into the bazaar area and then exit through the Damascus Gate. And so this is the Katanin Market. Behind me is the Dome of the Rock again.
ما ينفعوش هاي المرة.
شفت
سلام.
اسمع جايين موسم 10 حبنا كلها.
What a scene.
مالك تقريبا كذا صوت.
And so that is the Damascus Gate there. One of the 7 entryways into the old city, into the Muslim quarter. I'm going to end this video here. It has been a very intense day. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you? I have just 3 more days here before I fly out. My next destination is Cyprus, so that's going to be something completely different. Take it easy. And as they say in Israel, shalom, peace.